Hello, it's Doris with Aldi Books. So I'm supposed to be vlogging all this week, these 8 days, and I fell off the vlogging wagon yesterday, and so I didn't read. Oops. And also I forgot that it's mid-month book bash this weekend, so I really need to start vlogging again after I film this video. It is 11:30, so right after lunch, or during lunch. I don't even know what I'm having for lunch. Anyway, so we're gonna do a little quick Friday reads action, but first, what is this? I have a book haul. It's been so long. Book outlet, no less, and they've got new boxes and little pull tabs. Like, how satisfying is that? I'm not gonna say I forgot what I ordered, because I'm sure I did not, but I don't remember in the moment what it is, so this will be so fun. Oh man, it's got a bent cover. It's okay. So I think some of these are for the Book Naturalist 2022 or 2023, which we have not announced yet, but I got to be prepared because I'm moving to China. Okay, so A Solitude of Wolverines by Alice Henderson. Alone in the wilderness, she's fit for survival against a human predator. Will she stay alive? She's a biologist, by the way. So, Alice Henderson. And then, How to Be a Good Creature, a Memoir in 13 Animals by Cy Montgomery, illustrated by Rebecca Green. Gorgeous. So Cy Montgomery of the octopus fame, but fun fact, I have taken an art class from Rebecca Green. Like, how cool is that? I will find I painted a fish. I'll find my fish and share it in my next vlog. How about that? Fun. She was living in Nashville for a while and has since moved on. But anyway, These Precious Days by Ann Patchett. Oh my God, this is a large print edition. Fun. I didn't notice that. Oh well. It's okay. I don't see that well anyway, right? This one, I mean, Ann Patchett is also Nashville Connection, and this was on Obama's favorites for 2021, so I thought I would enjoy that. I like Ann Patchett. Another for Book Naturalist 2023, The Next My Great Migration, The Beauty and Terror of Life on the Move by Sonia Shaw. I also want to get Pandemic. I think that one is going to be good as well. I think Heidi from My Reading Life enjoyed that. Silent Earth, Averting the Insect Apocalypse by Dave Goulson. Dave Goulson is an Instabuy author for me. He is a bee professor from the UK, and he is a great writer. And then another for Book Naturalist 2023. Extraordinary Insects, The Fabulous Indispensable Creatures Who Run Our World by Anne Sverdrup Thygesen. This one is translated, so I think we're going to do it in September for Women in Translation. Translated by Lucy Moffat. Oh, and illustrations by Tuba Sverdrup Thygesen. So obviously related in some way. Coolness. Let's find one. Oh, there we go. So that's my little book outlet haul. I meant to apologize for my pajamas, but really, should one ever apologize for spending time in pajamas? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm on summer vacation. The life of a public school teacher is so hard. It is, trust me. So I finished The Age of Wonder, How the Romantic Generation Discovered the Beauty and Terror of Science by Richard Holmes. I say finished, meaning I read 2/3 of it and it was so incredibly boring. And then skimmed over the topics in the last third. And so you might say DNF'd it. And it was so excruciatingly boring that I had another book by this author on John James Audubon, and I just unhauled it because, like, I'm like, no, I don't need that in my life. So the topics were kind of boring as well. I talked about this a lot in a vlog. There's a lot of astronomy, a brother-sister duo. So if you like astronomy, you might find it super interesting. I am not so much into that topic. I did enjoy hearing about the younger sister who was quite the astronomist in her own right. This is set in the late 1700s, I believe, early 1800s. So, I mean, it's cool information, but I would just have liked reading it in a condensed form. This was like, you know. There's some chemistry in here, also not a fan. Engineering with hot air balloons, also not a fan. Very brief naturalist exploration, which is my scene, but it was very minimally covered. But so, like, this might have been topical, but I really think that just the writing style was a little bit researchy. Not my favorite. And I finished The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope. So what can I say about Mr. Trollope? He writes just great women characters, just characters in general. He, like, this huge book that I set aside many times over the last several months. Anytime I picked it back up, I knew who everyone was because they're just so well developed. And you know, I often get like lost in books with lots of characters, especially when I don't read it straight through, but not with this one. It really worked for me. I also love the way he is able to write so relevant. Like the topics in here were so relevant to our times here in 2020s. And this was written, you know, like in the Victorian era, which was quite a few years ago. I mean, Donald Trump's in here, sort of. I will say, like, this is my first Trollope outside of the Barchester series, and really loved the Barchester series because I like reading about politics in the church, and that one was very relevant to modern times as well. Notice I didn't say I like politics in church. There's a difference. But yes, Anthony Trollope, I enjoy his writing so much. And then just yesterday, I finished Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and oh my goodness, this was so good. This was so good. So Nora and Charlie are from New York City. Like, they're not, well, Nora is from New York City, born and raised. Charlie is from small town North Carolina, but is very much a New York City kind of guy. So She is an agent for book publishing, and he is an editor. Both big guns in the industry, and this is just so good. So Nora's little sister, like Nora and her little sister are, I mean, they're in their 30s now, late 20s, early 30s. She's 32, and I guess little sister is probably 28, something like. But they were raised by a single mom who wanted to be an actress in New York City, and mom passes away when Nora is 20 and little sister is 16. So, you know, they're quite traumatized by this, and even though it's years later, they haven't like grown out of those roles that they played at that time, you know? And just the chemistry between the two, and Emily Henry's writing, and the playfulness with romance tropes in here. Oh, it's just all so good. Ode to Bridgerton. This is really a fabulous romance read. Like if you like to read romance novels, I would say this is a must read. And if you don't really read romance, you know, this is a really well constructed story. Really well constructed. And Brian from Bookish, if you ever want to dip your toes in romance again and give it one more try, this one is just so good. So I'm obviously not reading 8 books in 8 days, but breaking news. Oh, this is so exciting. I got my flight ticket. I did. July 21st, I will be flying from Dallas, Fort Worth to Shanghai. I know. I may have to go a couple days early to get COVID tested, because you have to get COVID tested like twice in the city you're flying out of. So anyway, I have a date, but so that means I have a few, because I was wanting to leave early July, but just they couldn't get the tickets to work out. So now I have a few extra days to work on the physical TBR. So even though I'm chronically behind in where I want to be with that, I'm getting a few bonus days. So we'll see how it goes. And like I said earlier in this conversation, you know, public school teacher off for the summer. I need to get it in gear, get the books read. Anyway, I have not touched Seeds since we last spoke. Well, I did listen to another chapter in the Robin Hobb, but you know, not enough to talk about. But I have started Small Island by Andrea Levy for Caribathon, and I've only read 35 pages, but this book is fabulously written. This is a fabulous piece of writing. I can already tell you that. So good. So I was a little bit confused in the prologue because I didn't, you know, it wasn't what I was expecting. Like, not that I know what I was expecting, but the cover is somewhat nondescript, especially if you are not from England. I think this is a London skyline of some sort, but I didn't know that. So I knew that this was Jamaican. So the first chapter, I was like, but what's happening is you have a couple that is 1948, so after the war, and you have a couple where Gilbert is already living in London, and his new bride comes on a banana boat from Jamaica to meet him in London, and London is not at all what she was expecting. And Gilbert didn't really know that he needed to prepare her for that. So, like, the first chapter of the two of them together, when she first arrives, I mean, I'm sure that I felt bad for Hortense and Gilbert, but it was also very funny. It was very funny. But he is staying in a boarding house with a white woman named Queenie, who we meet in the prologue as a young girl. And that was like really, really brilliantly written, because you kind of see racism in England at that time through the eyes of an innocent child. And you can tell that she's innocent the way she approaches the world, but that the people around her are not. This is very, very well written and interesting introduction to this story, this immigrant story. So it goes back and forth in time and place between London, England, and Jamaica, and when these people were children, and then the present time, 1948. So I think this is going to be a brilliant read. Really looking forward to it. And I might have to read another one of my books a million. I had another little book haul. So I don't know if y'all saw that because it was in a vlog, but I picked up the Book Lovers that I already read, and I got The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Thought this would be great for Pride Month. And I found The Heart Principle by Helen Huang that I really loved the first two that she wrote, and this one I've been waiting on for 2 or 3 years, I feel. So yeah, I might have to dip into one or both of these in the next day or two. So yeah, gotta get back to vlogging now so that I can get back to reading. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.